Well, hello. So today we're going to talk about Brangelina. Yeah, the breakup. What happened? Everybody's weighing in on it. I'm going to weigh in from some spiritual standpoints and let you know how to perhaps address the whole situation. Uh, and I'm addressing it from a side of mercy. So, you know, starting first and foremost, the person that has gotten the brunt of everything. And I would say Angelina Jolie. Angelina Jolie has gotten the brunt of the publicity situation. And I think that because some people have quoted back to the relationship between Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt, and also how that played itself out during the publicity for I forget what the name of the movie was, but for the publicity for that particular movie, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, I don't know, and the way it played itself out on the Vogue, I think Vogue or Vanity Fair, I forget, but they had children, or pretend children, and then all of a sudden consecutively they ended up having consecutively a bunch of children, and I think that the way that itself played out, and a lot of people say, well, if you go back and see this and Jennifer Aniston, like the way it played out for her, and a lot of people want Jennifer Aniston to weigh in on the situation. What happened happened. I think that a lot of times people get caught up in a storm of reactivity, and whether it's for love or for lust or for affection, and I think that as Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's relationship has played itself out, you can definitely see a cohesiveness and humanitarian work, which is what, when you hear these things about them breaking up, you're like, oh, it's like, what? Because they are so beloved because of their cohesion in their humanitarian work. Can it be worked out? I think for the sake of the children, I hope that they come to an amicable agreement for the sake of the children. Do people need to transform? Of course. I think when you have people need to really have. First, it starts with communication. Starts with having communication and coming together and saying, what are you willing to give up? What are you willing to sacrifice in order for this to work? Whether it's, continued as friendship for the sake of the children or for the sake of the whole relationship. Uh, and having that honest, conversation with yourself. And then, I would say if Angelina Jolie is willing to give up certain things to create a whole world, because that will assist her in that transition. And for Brad Pitt, create a whole world that will assist you in that transition. Change your friends, change the people around you, create some dramatic shifts for you, the sake of your children. Because what is happening is that oftentimes you have what it feels like is you have reactive elements being like, bah, and and I follow Brad Pitt, or who I think is Brad Pitt, on Facebook, and there's a genuine love. There's a genuine love for Angelina Jolie, and it's sad from a personal perspective. It's very sad because I think there's a very genuine spark there. So I do hope for the sake of the children that they can work out, and what you can do as an audience, as a person. I think about Angelina Jolie in the sense of she cares. She cares. I think it would be hilarious and extremely transformational if Angelina Jolie and Jennifer Aniston were in a skit, either wife swap. That would be hilarious for Funny or Die, with the proceeds of going to their respective charities. Where Jennifer Aniston travels to UN and in order to see the landmines and what the situation is, and Angelina Jolie goes to St. Jude and walks the halls and see what the situation there is. So wife's humanitarian swap, and then at the end of the day they come together and they talk about their experiences. That would be weird and transformational, right, for humanity. I don't know. Would they be up to it? Would they? That's the highest evolved of letting just everything go for the sake of the children. And I think that you as an individual, what can I do? Like, what can I do if I genuinely care? If I care about these people, and if I care about what it means to society, and how to quell this energy, because people are going to go back, oh, look what he did, look what she did. It was like, let it go. There's children that have come from this experience, and we need to focus on the growth of these children rather than bicker and argue as to what happened and where they came from and how they came to be. So I think that staying on that topic of growth. I think that that will allow us and the rest of humanity to ripple itself out. I think that we're being derailed by gossip and derailed by various elements, and perhaps individuals themselves have been derailed from their humanitarian task. Well, it's time to get back on the rails, and it's time to get it together and get it done. So I wish all the best to Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt and their children and everybody involved, and Jennifer Aniston and her husband, and I wish them all the best, because ultimately, and don't buy the tabloids. There's a particular supermarkets that I don't, when I see tabloids in the supermarkets, I don't go to that supermarket, and I make a conscious awareness to boycott that supermarket. And I have Super Ranch, King Ranch markets. They have Super King, I think, and Ranch King. I don't know, one of those brands. They have, they don't have tabloids. So I oftentimes, and they have great deals. So I go to those kind of supermarkets that don't have tabloids. Thank you, and I want to wish you a wonderful, wonderful year. Take care.